Okay, let's say that you've created an animation that you like and you'd like to be able to use it again, and you don't want to necessarily have to rely on finding this project. You can always open one project and drag layers from one project to another, but there's a much easier way. In fact, Motion makes it very easy to save just about anything that you want, anything that you've created, you can save for later use. You can choose what you save and you can choose where to save it. So let's look at that for a second here. First of all, you need to decide, do you want to save the behavior itself so you can apply it to any piece of text anywhere, or maybe you want to save the text layer with the behavior applied so that the text layer comes in with the behavior. Perhaps, for instance, you have this very specific font you've used with specific formatting, with a specific style, outline, glow, drop, shadow, whatever. If you want to keep all that, you can save the text. So let's look at both of those. We'll start with saving just the behavior. First of all, let's give it another name so we can identify it. I'll call this behavior twister. And now I have a couple of options on where I want to save it. One location is the library. So within the library, I can save it. For instance, I could go to text sequence and I could drag it right into here. So if I drag twister down into here, it's added to the library. And now every time I open up Motion, when I select the text sequence category here, there will be my preset. And it's a little hard to tell. Let's look at an icon view. You can tell a user preset with this little badge on it. It tells you that it was created by the user. So that's one place you can save a behavior. You can actually save it into any of these behavior categories like text animation. You could put it in there as well. Or check this out, within the library, let's move this down a little bit. We have something called favorites. And you can see I've got all kind of favorites in here. I save all kind of stuff, replicators and shapes. And these are groups of different things in Motion, generators, filters. You can save pretty much anything you want. So what I can do is just take this twister and add it to my favorites, and it drops it in here as well. So now if we scroll down to the T's, you can see it's organized alphabetically. There's my twister in my favorites. Another option is in the favorites menu. So if I drag it to the favorites menu, then it'll show up top here in this favorites menu. There it is, twister. So now in any other project, let's press T for the type tool. If I add some new type, then I can go to the favorites menu and choose twister, and it's applied to that text. Very, very simple. Okay, another cool thing you can do is save it directly to your desktop. So if I go to my file browser, I can go anywhere I want on my file system. So in this case, I'm within a folder called Mastering Text in Motion. So I can take this behavior and drag it right in here. And now it's available from my Finder. So I could organize this anywhere I wanted. I could also email it to anybody else. And then they could take it and drag it from their Finder, from their desktop, wherever they place it, in Motion onto any text. So again, if I let's take this one off. I'll just disable it for a minute. I can drag it onto this text, and it will animate the text. Easy as pie. So very, very flexible in terms of where you save your different presets in Motion. Another option would be to save the entire text animation. So what I'm going to do is take the actual text layer itself and drag it over to the Finder. And I could save it to all those same places we talked about before. So now it's going to show up a little bit differently. First of all, the text is named swing, so I want to go to the S's. It's organized alphabetically. There it is, swing. It shows up as a little Motion project. Anytime you drag something that is not an independent object, like text by itself or a behavior by itself or a filter, you'll get what looks like a text, like a Motion project. So now if I choose File, New, create a new Motion project, and then we'll scroll down. There's swing. I'll select it, I'll drag it in, Shift-Z to fit it to the window, and a little hardware to find, it's up here. It won't necessarily be in exactly the same position, but there's my twisting text animation. In this case, I brought in everything, the actual font that I used along with the behavior applied to it. We'll close that. So in Motion, just remember, you can save anything that you make. You can save it just about anywhere, and you can choose what level of detail that you want to save, and then you can use that yourself or easily email it to other people.